Has anything terrible ever happened to you?
What do you want me to say?
You wanted this conversation. You wanted to talk about something that matters. Talk.
My name is LavaeReed and I'm an artist, and I made this piece titled Time Without. It is a piece that is 14 by 17 inches made from charcoal and pastels. It is a portrait of a man wearing a white tank top and a hat that says Dad, and he's wearing a wristwatch that's somewhat deteriorating. And if you look closely at the man's face, you can see that there's like a hole that's like caved in, and you can see what resembles as a little boy crying into his arms. The boy is sitting down with his hands on his knees and he's like sobbing. The image is contrasted with a light blue background. And in a sense, I've made this piece of a man that has gone so many years, perhaps his entire life, without knowing his father or having that relationship with his dad. And it's just like, even though after all those years have passed, he's still that little kid. His inner child is still not healed from that. I suppose you could say that this is one of those cases where, you know, you keep your head down, you keep going through life, but as soon as you pick your head up and start to like really do some self-reflection, start to look around, you realize about yourself, like, hey, I haven't really completely healed from this. I haven't completely moved on from this experience that really damaged me as a child. Or perhaps, you know, you realize that you're still that little kid, and you're still that little kid that really yearns for a relationship with your dad, or really just a relationship with anybody. I think it is often said that a father can help mold their child into the man that they should be, or to the man that they are going to become. And in a sense, it's the same thing going through life without a father. Not having some sort of father figure within your life will still shape and mold you into an individual in the future, but perhaps maybe not one you should be, or maybe, you know, or really just somebody that is different from the person that you are today. While making this piece, I've done a little bit of my own self-reflection with, you know, the relationship with my dad, because my father wasn't really around like that due to, I guess you could say, life circumstances. So I went the majority of my life without knowing my father. And even now I know who my dad is. It's just, you know, we don't really have that solid foundation or relationship. So making this piece, it kind of made me like reflect on those things. Like, I guess really how I felt at the time. I think when it comes to the topic of living life without a father, it's all very much in here and in here, your heart. And that's what I kind of wanted to show with this piece. I think at some point you can realize that all the pain and the emotional turmoil that you have felt without, you know, having that strong relationship with your father is really just on the inside. You know what I mean? What happens if you end up letting go of that? What happens if you end up letting go of all that pain? And I guess really the only thing that attaches you to your father. Because when your father's not really around, you are in a sense just left with a lot of grief, with a lot of emotional baggage. You know, there's nothing else that really attaches you to a father that you haven't really known your entire life besides that, you know? So like, what happens if you let that go? The only thing that really attaches you to, you know, wanting your dad in your life. I think you'll realize how infinite you are and how freeing it is. And that's why I made this piece with the light blue background, to show how infinite it is, and just to concentrate on all of the emotional weight of the piece within the center, within the figure. When it comes to the inner child that's placed within the man's face, this isn't the first time I've done a piece like this. I've done a piece with a similar concept, but with a totally different situation in the past. And the reason why I do this is just because I don't necessarily know how to heal my inner child. Because, you know, deep down inside, I feel like I'm just a little kid for real. You know, perhaps that's all I really wanted to be. Because you know, as a kid, it just felt like I had to really grow up at a young age. You know, I didn't really have a chance to just, you know, be a kid and you know, live a child's life. It really did feel like I had to mature a lot. So at no point did I ever get to receive the love and have that father-son relationship. Yeah, I was kind of like, desperately looking for. But I just wish I had let go of this part of myself a lot sooner, because maybe then I would have understood the blessings that surrounded me. Because even though my dad wasn't really in my life, I still have some pretty good father figures. Like my granddad has always been that one father figure for me, but I just never really sat down and actually appreciated that at the time, growing up, because I knew that, my father was out there. I knew that I had a dad somewhere. It's just, I didn't really get to meet him until years later. You know what I mean? And even with my uncle, my mom's brother, I didn't really realize it at the time, or I couldn't really comprehend it, but I looked up to that man a lot. In a sense, I really wanted to be like him. I really wanted to be like my uncle growing up. And I think in a sense, I still do. I don't think he would necessarily see it that way. In my uncle's eyes, he sees himself as the example of what not to be or what not to do in life. And that's never how I've looked at him. My uncle is one of the best men I've ever known in my life. That's for sure. I think this is a rather simplistic piece, and I'm really happy that I've made it, just because I know this is something that a lot of people can relate to. I have a lot of friends that, had to grow up without their father. I know a lot of people that had a relationship with their father, but they end up passing away or something like that. I know a lot of people that can really harmonize with this piece, and I really hope that this piece can reach out to more people, because I think the more people that actually get to see this, they can just take a second to actually think. Just take a minute to actually reflect, to look at themselves objectively, understand who they are, and understand the presence around others. As I mentioned earlier, this man is wearing a watch, and it's deteriorating. It's turning into like a black smoke, withering away. I think the concept behind that is, pretty straightforward, pretty simplistic. It's just, obviously the watch represents time. It's time without, and that's the name of the piece. It's time without, and it just represents how the world is going to keep spinning at the end of the day. We can either continue having these thoughts, continue being in pain from the things that we don't understand, from the things we do understand, but we just never healed and let go from. But the world is going to keep spinning, whether we hold on to those things or not. And then at some point you're going to look up and you're an old man, and I just think it's so much better. I just think it's so much better to live your life more freely than that. To let go. Just to take everything as an experience, not to get so caught up in these attachments. It's funny because I keep thinking about everybody else. I keep thinking about my friends, my family. I keep thinking about you guys, and it's just really, no, this is about myself. I need to let go of attachments, and I just need to take everything as an experience. What happened. Like my dad is a good dude. He's definitely a good guy. He's a good man at the end of the day. It's just, that relationship with him is just something we never got to have with each other. Time went on, and it's just we missed out on that. We did. I think we both desired to have that relationship with each other, but it just never happened. I'm just not really sure if that's the key. I'm not sure if that's what it means to heal my inner child, because that's what this piece is really about. I don't know what it takes. For the longest time, I said to myself that, the thing that would probably really heal my inner child is getting to create the family that I didn't have, or create the home environment that I didn't get the pleasure of growing up in. Not that my life was bad or anything. I just want to create my own family and create a home with just lots of love. That's something I always really wanted to create, and I told myself that's probably it right there. That's the thing that will heal my inner child. Unfortunately, that's a dream that I've long given up on. Not that I didn't try, because I definitely did. It just doesn't look like it's gonna happen, and no point getting hooked up on that. I just gotta keep going, find a different path. To me, and to me, that path is art. To me, that path is this right here. Dedicating myself fully to my craft. But the thing is, that's definitely not going to heal my inner child. I still don't have an answer as to what will heal that side of me. Really, these are just aspects of myself that I never really get to express until, I start putting the pencil to the paper. Until I actually start making some artwork. And then, all my emotions and my thoughts that I usually don't share with anybody, I just put it out there. I don't know, man. I think I'm just yapping at this point. I need to go ahead and wrap up this video. I have not sold this piece yet. It's still in my possession, as you can see, right? It is up for sale though, so if somebody really resonates with this piece and would like to take it home, I'll definitely sell it to you. You can either buy it off of my website, or what's it called? Or you can email me and we can set up like a payment plan, because I know art is kind of expensive, So yeah, either or. And if you really enjoyed this video but you would like to know a little bit more about this piece, you can feel free to check out my website, check out my blog, where I just type up a detailed, I guess you can call it, report of my work. Feel free to check that out. And let's see, what else? If this is something that you can relate to, I would appreciate it if you just let me know about your story, about your relationship with your dad and how that affected you, and how did you end up healing from that. Let's start the conversation there. I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. I think with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and just end this video. I appreciate you for watching and staying to the end of this video. If you really enjoyed it, then I would appreciate it if you press the like button. I will come out with more videos soon, so if you would like, you could subscribe. That's something that's also greatly appreciated. I see now I'm almost to like 200 subscribers, which is actually crazy, because I don't know what I'm doing this for. I don't really have any goals as a YouTuber. It's just, I think what I really wanted from this, or really what I'm trying to build here, just to create a community. I really do, because I want to get to know y'all as I continue to put information about myself out there. So as y'all get to know me, I want to get to know y'all. So I'm hoping to actually just build a community of people that I could just talk to about my work, because I don't really get to talk about this very often. Nobody seems to ask me questions, so I just put it out there. I just make a video about it. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and catch y'all in the next video. I appreciate y'all for watching.